This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
And that's what we'll do here on a Friday Morning Juice. Tito, yes. Bodie, yes. Carp, no.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, look to, my left, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's how it is on the screen, too. Anyways, the guy on the other end, not talking, giggling. He is Austin Ward joining us here. He's in for Bobby Carpenter today. Austin, look, usually we have a guest host or a guest, and you're used to this with me because I can never get everything right.
Okay.
What the hell do you do other than help here, filling for Bobby here? You're on the Buckeye Show tonight. Mm-hmm. And then what other stuff? I can't keep track of all the sites you do stuff for.
Well, just worry about what's right in front of you right now.
I know, but I want to give you credit, though. I want to make sure I properly hype you up.
You've got the Austin Berm Show.
Yep,
so
that's right here on 10 TV Plus. Yeah,
don't change out of your browser over to open a new tab and watch the beat. You can do that later.
Yes.
At 8. Watch this show first. But that'll be up. You got Freaky Friday. We got a mailbag edition of the beat, so you can get that on 10 TV Plus, 10 TV, 97.1 The Fan YouTube, where you're watching right now, or all your audio platforms. So that's going on for us there. Berm now is also, both and I have returned to our, not original, but we helped build Letterman Row about 7 years ago.
Right.
Before the acquisition of On3. Then we parted ways shortly after that, but now we're back at Letterman Row and working with On3 and Spencer Holbrook and Mick Walker and Alex Gleitman over there. So that feels kind of cool to have that homecoming going on. I don't know what else.
It's like a damn
people need me.
You've got so many great people. It's almost like a damn monopoly. How many people you've got over there that have been doing this successfully for a long time?
It's fun. I think, Berm wrote about his return on Letterman Row on
Looked
Wednesday.
like a LeBron James letter.
Yeah. I mean, he put a lot more thought into it than LeBron did.
That's true. I'm back or whatever.
Didn't have a ghostwriter or didn't wear a fancy button down to say I'm taking my talents back to Letterman Row. But, he sort of encapsulated it in a way that I thought maybe I should have, but he did it anyway. But I've been back for 3 weeks, and he's talking about how every single day for 4 years, we were wearing the Letterman Row interlocking brand, and we were really proud of what we built over there, and from scratch, along with Will Crawl. So that site was really fun to be part of. It was a life-changing experience, and nobody was thrilled about the way that it ended the first time around, and I think there was always part of us that hoped that we could go back there and recapture some of those good vibes and the excitement that we had about building it on the way up. And it's been still growing over there at On3 without us. Spencer Holbrook in particular deserves a lot of credit for covering the team after we moved on and while we were at Rivals. But then this opportunity with the merger between On3 and Rivals, an opportunity for us to go back to Letterman Row came along. Wasn't expecting it.
Right.
Wasn't expecting anything that's happened over the last 4 months, if I'm being totally honest with you, Tito. But it's been energizing, I think, to see that there are people out there who still want to support or love what we do, and excited to do that with actual football starting on the 31st of this month.
Ya Highness Chad from WeWinYouWin.com will join us at 7:20 today. AJ Hawk will join us at 7:40 like he does every week, which is great. We are 13. I can only say this now because Bobby hates it when I do, but he said I can do it today. With 13 days till the Pro Football Hall of Fame game, we are 36 days until the first 4 college football games, 43 until Ohio State, Texas, 48 till the start of the NFL. Can't wait for that.
You don't care about the start of training camp, Tito? 13 days, baby.
I do, but I can't. I keep track of so much stuff. I know I can only keep track of so much stuff. But we'll be out there. Bobby and I will be out there for a couple of days doing the show live. Also, baseball picks back up tonight. Reds and Mets at 7:10. Guards host the Athletics at 7:10. And the British Open, which I'm sure you're following. There's like an 8-way. There was an 8-way tie for first when we started the show. But now Harris English has jumped out. He is now in first place all by himself at 5 under par. and then we've got a 7-way tie for second is what it is. So
how about my guy Victor Hovland going birdie, birdie, birdie to start his day?
Is that how he started today? Birdie,
Yeah.
birdie? Wow, not bad. Who are you rooting? Are you rooting for somebody?
I play one and done leagues throughout the year.
Okay.
So I initially took John Rahm this week.
Right.
And a guy ahead of me in the standings decided, well, no, I'm going to take John Rahm just right over the top.
Right.
I'm like, great. Well, I can't catch you then. I'm running out of opportunities, and I certainly won't be able to use John Rahm now after this, get things to live. So I switched to Victor Hovland, and he did not play great yesterday, but he's on fire to start today. He's now 1 under for the tournament.
That's outstanding news for you then.
I love it.
Yeah. And so, by the way, because, look, Bobby's not here, so I'm going to play the Open. But it won't be Bobby being the professor. I'm not clever enough to figure out how to just put your name in there, Bodie.
Neither am I, honestly.
That's fantastic.
So that's all right.
But you're ready,
Dr.
though, right?
Bodie.
I'm ready.
Yes, Dr. Bodie.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby
Bodie
Carpenter.
Wells. Take it away, Bodie.
All right, guys. Today is July 18th, 2025, the 199th day of the year, just 166 days remaining in this 2025. We'll hit the big 200 tomorrow. Plan accordingly. We'll start with some events here. All the way back in 64 AD. It's been a good minute since this happened. The Great Fire of Rome, lasting 6 days, consuming much of the city and leaving thousands homeless. That does not sound like a great time.
Yeah, why do you call it great?
That's what it said on
I know,
Today
really,
in
just
History.
say- really
setting a vibe here, Bodie.
I don't know.
The big fire.
It gets even better here in a couple.
right.
Just wait. This one was good, though. 1768, the Boston Gazette publishes Liberty Song. It is recognized as America's first patriotic song. Herb Brooks would have loved that one. Some not so great news, though. This one's kind of a tough one here. 100 years ago today, in 1925, Adolf Hitler publishes Mein Kampf, his autobiographical and political manifesto. We're just going to move on there.
It seems like you could have just
Adolf,
removed
not-
it.
well, I mean, it was a big deal, I guess. It's today in history. You got to paint the good and the bad with
Okay,
it.
that's fair.
A little bit more brighter side here, I guess. 1927, Ty Cobb records his 4,000th hit. Of course, just him and Pete Rose now with 4,000 hits still in Major League Baseball history. In 1940, Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR, he is nominated for a third term. He would go on to win that election, defeating Republican nominee Wendell Willkie in the 1940 presidential election. Of
course.
Of course, he's Wendell Willkie.
That's not a real
Willkie,
person.
Wendell Willkie.
Traditional spelling?
That's a creative character.
Sure.
That right there. No doubt it is, yeah.
Third of 4 terms there for FDR. In 1947, President Harry Truman signs the Presidential Succession Act. That, of course, goes the president, then the vice president, speaker of the House, president pro tempore of the Senate, and then cabinet members. This is actually how it was originally from 1792 to 1886. Then from 1886 to 1947, it changed to, went from the president to the vice president, then the president's cabinet department. So a little switcheroo there. 1953. I think he got his financial return on this one. Elvis pays $3.98 to record his first demo. That includes My Happiness and this song right here. That's when your heartbreak begins.
Of a friend. That's when your heartaches begin.
$3.98 in 1950. That's the equivalent of 10 billion
Yes,
US
exactly
dollars
right.
now.
Yes, it is. That's accurate
So
math
I don't know
by
where
you.
he came up with that money, but good for him.
Yeah.
In 1960, Major League Baseball, the National League votes to add a Houston and New York franchise. That would, of course, be the Mets. And at the time, it was the Houston Colt 45s. They would, of course, change their name to the Astros just a few short years later. And then, what's it been, about a decade they've been in the American League?
Yeah.
Decade, give or take.
I would say, yeah.
In 1968, Intel Corporation is founded. That's been pretty profitable there, so good job out of them. 1970, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, he becomes the 10th player in Major League Baseball history to notch 3,000 hits.
0-2, Wegener delivers. Mays hits it into left field. There goes number 3,000. Willie Mays gets his 3,000th base hit. Willie Mays has done it again. He has brought the baseball world to a standstill. With the league president, Charles Feeney, Hall of Famers Stan Musial and Carl Hubble, and Monty Irvin, who helped Mays, at the start of his baseball career, all cheering him on.
It's amazing to think if you were a baseball fan in the 50s.
Which everybody was.
Yes, it's what it was, yes. And they all talk like this, see?
We're on the way to St. Louis.
Right. Have those three franchises, the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Yankees, all like right there. And accessible. Like, it's not like you had to drive, it wasn't like going from Columbus to, say, like Cincinnati to see a game. It was all like they were right there. And to have that kind of access to see those teams and those players.
I was going to say the amount of baseball history just there alone. Yeah, that is pretty incredible. Like I said, he was the 10th player at the time to do it. Now a total of 33 players on the list, and 23 have joined him since then. 1976, Nadia Comaneci becomes the first gymnast in the Olympic Games history to score a perfect 10 score at the Montreal Games. She would do it 6 more times at those Montreal Games, so not too bad there. She was just 14 years old at the time. That is pretty impressive. 1980, Billy Joel's Glass Houses album tops the U.S. charts. The album features his first single to peak at number 1 on Billboard's Top 100 chart.
Still rock and roll to me.
Still rock and roll to me.
Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's a true baby blue continental. Hot fuck, cool punk, even if this old junk is still rock and roll to me.
Might have been one of the first. It was one of the first albums I owned.
It's a pretty catchy tune there. I would
9,
say.
yeah.
1987, back to baseball here. Don Mattingly of the New York Yankees homers in an MLB record 8th straight game, joining Dale Long in 1956, and then Ken Griffey Jr. also did it after Mattingly in 1993.
So it's just 2-0. That could have been some big inning for the Rangers. They had 4 consecutive base hits, 2 doubles. Hey, did he get all of it? Did he? Holy cow, he did it! Holy cow, Mattingly is unbelievable. The opposite field. Holy cow.
And the fans are giving him a standing ovation.
Oh, isn't that great? Unbelievable.
Look at the Ranger fans.
Look at those great fans. Isn't that good? I'm very proud of them. That's outstanding.
Don Mattingly has just tied a record set back in 1956 by the Pirates' Dale Long. A home run in 8 consecutive games.
What a call. I'm very proud of him.
I also liked how when Mattingly was up to bat, he was just like in a completely different conversation with it. He was talking about something completely different. Mattingly kind of pokes one out to left field there. And he's like, oh my God. 1994, guys, Seal releases Kiss from a Rose. I did not realize this until yesterday. This was part of the Batman Forever.
Oh, yes, it was.
Banger. Yeah.
The light that you shine can't be seen.
I wonder who had the idea. Like, Seal, you wrote and recorded this absolute banger. People are going to sing it forever. We've got a great idea to roll it out. There's a new Batman coming out.
Val Kilmer.
There's going to be nipples on the Val Kilmer suit.
Right.
And Kiss from a Rose is going to anchor the soundtrack. What do you think?
Okay, now,
I'm in.
To be fair, it did end up being a number 1 song. But was that a worse decision, or was it the Seal commercial that we saw?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That was tough last year.
That was a
right.
Maybe Seal secretly hates Kiss from a Rose.
That could be.
Like, I'm going to make a mockery of this song.
Feels like a money grab.
Hey, you know what?
Feels like Hangover 3. That's what it felt like to me.
1999, guys. David Cone throws the 16th perfect game in MLB history on Yogi Berra Day of all days. He played for the Yankees there, David Cone. It was a 6-0 win over the Montreal Expos. He threw just 88 pitches in the game, struck out 10. There was also a 33-minute rain delay in the 3rd inning, so...
Should have pulled him then.
Yeah,
that's what you do now.
You got to rest the arm.
Load management.
That.
Yes.
And last for events here, 2018. This one worked out pretty well for Toronto. The Raptors acquired Kawhi Leonard for DeMar DeRozan. Jakob Poeltl in a first-round pick. He was there 1 year, and they won the NBA championship. On to birthdays here. Born in 1900, passing away in 1954. George Machine Gun Kelly, not the rapper, the American gangster there. 1918, born on this date, and then passing away in 2013. Nelson Mandela. The activist, South African president. He won the 1993 Nobel Peace Prize. He also won a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Made a pretty big impact in his life here. Also making a big impact in his life one of the great Ohioans ever. 1921, born on this date, John Glenn, the third American in space, the first American to orbit Earth. Of course, later the Senator of Ohio. This was him back in 1998 when he was asked about becoming the oldest man to go into space at the time, 77 years old.
My name's Reg Turnell. I'm 83 and the world's oldest working space correspondent. Do you regard yourself at 77 as the cutoff point, or do you think there's still hope for people of my generation?
Still a lot of hope, and I admire you for still working at 83, and I hope I'm still working at 83 also. I think too often people set their lives by the calendar. They decide that, well, I'm now 60, whatever it is, or 70, or whatever it is, and they decide, well, I'm expected to sit on the couch and do nothing for a while. And that just isn't, that takes the fun out of life as far as I'm concerned. I think people, the longer they keep active, the longer they feel good, whatever they can do physically, and their mental attitude, looking forward. Old folks have ambitions and dreams too, like everybody else. And why don't they work for them? Why don't they go for it? Don't sit on a couch someplace. That's my attitude.
Take that, Shark.
Just like they said in Shawshank, get busy living. Get busy dying. Born on this date in 1940, turning 85 years old today, Joe Torre, the longtime Major League Baseball player, manager, executive, probably one of just the most impactful baseball lives ever. If you look at everything he's done in the sport there across his playing, managing, and executive career there. Born on this date in 1950, turning 75 years old today, Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. His net worth today, just shy of $3 billion.
Okay, now why doesn't Nebraska get better in football then?
Is that where he's from?
I think he went to Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken. And if you got that kind of money and you really want to see Nebraska...
Well, they also got...
Well, maybe he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Warren Buffett as well.
I thought it was... Wasn't... am I wrong on that or am I right on that? Now I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to feel stupid.
I'm not seeing...
Branson?
I thought Richard Branson isn't... I thought he was the Australian.
Looks like he was born in London.
Right, but did he go to school?
Mate?
I don't
Maybe not.
see...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Nebraska anywhere.
Then forget I said it.
No wonder Nebraska's so bad. They don't have this
They
guy.
don't have Richard Branson.
I'm so glad this is a podcast, not a live show. We can just edit that out.
Yeah, we just remove that. But you don't have to go there to donate. Look,
that's true.
You got Larry Ellison given to Michigan.
That's fair. Yes, but
Portnoy apparently paying for quarterbacks as well.
Yes,
joining Big Noon Kickoff.
Feels yeah. I'm sure Bob was really stoked about that this week too.
Can't wait to watch that. Born on this date in 1957, turning 68 years old today, Nick Faldo, six-time major championship winner. He won 3 Open championships and 3 Masters tournaments, finished second in the other 2 majors a couple times there, so couldn't quite get the Grand Slam, but came pretty close, and 6 majors is not a half-bad career. When I saw this last night as I was putting it together, I had a huge smile on my face that Mr. Austin Ward was able to join us today, because born on this date in 1967, some people call him Mark Sinclair, some people call him Vin Diesel, and some people call him Dominic Toretto, turning 58 years old today.
Your mistake is thinking you got a goddamn choice, boy. Your mistake? Thinking you're in America. You're a long way from home. This is Brazil. Money will come and go. We know that. But the most important thing in life will always be the people in this room. Right here. Right now. Salute me, familia. Salute.
He doesn't have friends.
He's got family.
He's got family.
One of the greatest movie characters ever. And they're still
the
pumping
greatest
those things out.
Movie franchise that has ever been invented.
I can't debate that.
Oh, hang on.
Or disagree.
I'm not going to do this today.
Yeah, you are.
First of all, to be fair, I've never seen any of them.
Oh, Tito. Not one? There's been a million of them.
I have seen, my wife's seen them all.
Okay, well.
My wife rewatched them all. She loves them.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I think we found the brains of that family.
They probably aren't as strong as
long
some.
established.
If you're going to rewatch, or not rewatch, I guess watch for the first time, I would say after about 5 or 6, you could probably, maybe 7. But if you want to just, they get wilder and wilder, so And I'm sure
that's where the franchise takes off. That's when it finds its footing.
After Paul Walker goes.
Paul Walker, after he died, it didn't dip?
No, they found a great way to spin out of it, figuratively.
See, I think
unintended. If
you want to get me to watch it, have one in there with The Rock, 'cause I know he's done a few of them now, right? And
now he's back. He left for a while.
Okay,
had a feud going on.
I was going to say him and Mr. Dominic Toretto.
Have him and Kevin Hart in the same one, in the same car. Then you get me to watch. I think it'd be comedy gold there. Watch them arguing while racing.
It's not a comedy.
I know it's not. That's what I'm saying. You'll get me to watch it.
This is real life.
First of all, I don't. How many the brakes on the real
evolution of street racers to taking a car to space is just. It's not comedy.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
This is grounded, reality-based street racing car drama.
John Glenn, when he was the first American to orbit Earth, I'm sure his first thought was, man, one day they're going to make the fastest.
Someday Ludacris is going to be in a Fiero in space.
Man, his turd sling on the whole time. So it sounds the way you guys are doing it, though. It's like Star Wars meets, what's your racing?
The
Days
Avengers
of Thunder, whatever.
Plus, yeah. It's pretty sweet.
It's more like if you took every cinematic masterpiece of all time and put it into one package. That's what
Surprise Scorsese didn't direct it.
Times.
Yeah.
1971, Anthony Hardaway, also known as Penny, he's turning 54 years old today. Of course, played for the Orlando Magic there. Current head coach of Memphis, and I believe Memphis recently just went under probation for having
got a little bit of an issue going on,
I think, or something like that. Soccer player.
Two softball players
doing homework
did coursework and gave answers to the basketball player. So both programs are on probation now. But Penny, I think, might have been the last jersey I wore while playing basketball. Like rec basketball, pickup basketball stuff. I think Penny's Orlando Magic jersey.
Old Orlando ones that I think they just brought back are bringing back.
The pinstripes.
Are pretty great. Yeah.
I loved Penny.
Those are pretty sharp uniforms there. Turning 50 years old today, Torrey Hunter, longtime Major League Baseball player for Minnesota and the LA Angels. Deion Branch turns 46 years old today, the two-time Super Bowl champ with Seattle and New England. He was the Super Bowl 39 MVP. Kristen Bell, the actress, turns 45 years old today. Frozen, forgetting Sarah Marshall, among many other movies there. Canelo Alvarez turns 35 years old today, the multiple-time world title champion in boxing. And then got a couple guys turning 28 years old today. Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat. And then arguably the fastest man alive, Noah Lyles, the U.S. Olympic gold medalist, also turns 38 years old today.
It's the Olympic final of the men's 100 meters. There are 3 Americans in it. Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarek, and Fred Curley. And Noah's quest to win the double, the 100-200, begins in earnest now. There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody who wants it the most. Now Thompson starts to wind up. Curley's going with him. This is close. Jamaica's going to do it. Kashane Thompson is a gold medalist on debut. They're working on the photo. Noah Lyles is looking anxiously. It's Noah Lyles, and it had to go to a photo finish to decide it. America, I told you.
I know that job is not very easy, but the announcer really butchered that call. Yeah.
If you don't know,
yes,
just
you don't
easier
know.
to say, I don't know. Yeah. It's a photo finish.
Yes, instead of blatantly saying the wrong guy
Great
won.
Right.
Jamaica.
He had the call. That's the only one he had. That's the only one he had to say to call for.
It would have sounded awesome.
Sure.
Got a few deaths here. In 2005, William Westmoreland, the American general and commander of the American forces in the Vietnam War between 64 and 68, he passed away at the age of 91. In 2024, so just a year ago, got a couple guys just last year. Bob Newhart, the American Grammy Award-winning comedian and Emmy Award-winning actor. The Bob Newhart Show. He was Buddy the Elf's dad, and Buddy the just Elf, not Buddy the Elf, but Elf. He was the dad that was the elf, not the real dad.
Never saw it.
Are you serious?
Have you ever watched a movie, Tito?
I'm telling you.
That one might be the most egregious because every year in December
it comes back
on every television network that you can find.
What is wrong with you?
I haven't seen it.
He passed away at 94 last year, so lived a good long while there. Good for him. And then also last year, Lou Dobbs, the American broadcast journalist and conservative political pundit, he passed away at the age of 78. Got a few holidays and observances here. It is National Tropical Fruit Day, National Sour Candy Day, so throw those two things together.
There you go, nice little mashup.
Yeah, National Caviar Day. I don't mind seafood,
don't add
but
that in.
I'm not a huge caviar.
I've never had caviar. Is it you had it before?
I don't like it personally, but I'm middle of the ground there with seafood. I don't love it. I can take it or leave it. So I'm probably not the best person to ask. And then last but certainly not least, it is World Listening Day.
Huh?
So listen to the Morning Juice for the next hour and a half here, and then flip over to the Fan and listen all day there as well. So there's your birthdays, events, deaths, holidays and observances. On this date, July 18th, 2025, the 199th day of the year, just 166 days left in this 2025.
Well done as always, Lieutenant. Porch View also has never seen Elf.
Come on, Porch View.
That's tough, man.
I don't know.
Elf is like I said,
I've heard great things about it.
Oh, it is great. It's very rewatchable
I'll tell you
every year.
I never have time to sit and watch. Like, I've got so...
He's so busy and so
no,
important,
it's not
Bodie.
that. No, it's not. It's not
Even
important.
during Christmas, like between December 21st and the 24th, like you
or
can't.
November 1st
honestly,
if you're Mariah.
That too,
With the other gig that I do, I use a lot of that time off that I get to fill in here. It's what it used to be, at least. This year it's a little different because I'm doing this now. I'm not doing other fill-in work. I'm not doing the double duty stuff like my man over here on my left is. But I think that if I ever sit down and it starts, I'll watch it. I know it's available streaming and all that. I get it. I'm still a traditional guy. I know we have all streaming services, but if I'm flipping through the channels during the holidays.
So you have all the streaming services. So if it's on,
yes.
Which here's the easiest way to make sure that happens.
Yes.
Fire up the streaming service.
Okay.
And then hit start. Oh, it's on.
And then I could do that.
And then you have 90 minutes and you're done.
I would argue, too, among the rewatchable Christmas movies, it's high on the list.
It's number one for me.
Like, it's pretty. Christmas Vacation probably takes my top spot.
Okay.
But it's not too far behind. Have you seen Christmas Vacation?
Oh, yeah. It's classic. I've seen the classics. Yeah.
Just checking. But yeah, Elf is pretty high up there.
We watch it. The Ward family watches it every Christmas Eve.
I don't know if we have one. We always watch. My kids are still the age where they would like to watch the old, like the Santa Claus Come to Town and, with Rudolph and all that stuff. They still like to watch that stuff.
The stop motion ones?
Yes, those.
Oh, okay.
Those. That's a good way to put it. I wish I would have been smart enough to say it that way. Would have made it a lot easier. Coming up next, an SEC coach agrees with Tony Petitti, but he's also thinking bigger. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Central Ohio is home to a lot of sporting events that bring in millions of dollars of economic impact to our town. These events are huge for the city, providing revenue for local businesses, job creation, infrastructure development, and many other benefits. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses prosper year-round.
Thanks, Bobby. We truly value our local businesses and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners. Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job.
Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs.
Right on the target, Travis. We understand the business climate in Central Ohio, and we will help you reach your goals.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org. a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bobby is known as the General. Tito Shop.
Well, Tim May's gonna be here.
Oh boy.
And then I'm off August 4th for the Ironman.
Oh
Columbus
yeah, you
Major.
got that. That's coming up in the first week, huh?
Yes, Monday, August 4th.
Game in shape?
No. Look, I have turned into the last several years of Arnold Palmer hosting the Bay Hill Invitational, where I have no shot at winning, but I go out there and I'm a good host.
Yeah. That's my role at the Marysville Marathon.
That right there, yeah.
I finished right smack dab in the middle of the field. I'm never close to winning. I played with the guy who won it in the last 9, and he had his worst 9 holes, and I played fine.
Right.
The guy who finished 15 under for 36 in the 2-man scrambles, but he also hit a ball out of bounds on 17, a par 3, and he shanked it into the water on 14. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, you can't help me climb the standings, but I just shake hands and hand out the trophy.
Nicholas used to, for years after he won the 86 majors, 86 Masters, there were a lot of times he would have a great start in the Masters and then kind of fade. I do that. Like, I will be after like 3 or 4 holes, I'm right there at the leaderboard. You'll see Tito up there near the top.
3 or 4 instead of 18.
Right, yeah. But then by the time you make the turn and get to the back 9, all of a sudden you'll start seeing that,
the wheels have come off.
Oh, it's big time, yes. But it's really fun for a few holes to think that I will become the oldest major winner. Let's hope. Out of 36 holes for this one, I don't think Tito's buy's going to hold up. I think Tito's buy, if I'm even walking to the ball from the cart in the second 18, I'll consider that right there a victory. Tony Patini is still steadfastly wanting the 5. I'm sorry, the 4.
He doesn't want it.
He wants the 4-4-2-2-1-9-6-7-3-4-4. Whatever it is.
867-5309.
That's what he and Jenny both want. And Tommy Two-Tone. It's a great pull value. The Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach of Missouri, is the only person publicly from the SEC saying, I kind of like that Big Ten idea. So he says he's not here to kind of do the company line. Is basically what he said. He said, he knows Sankey wants that, the 5+11, and Drinkwitz like, I don't know, I like this Big Ten thing. And I said, that's great. But then he went a little bit further than I thought he would. Here is what Drinkwitz said about a 30-team playoff.
It's not really something that's outrageous. It's based off of the 12-team playoff where you had automatic qualifiers, but now we've decided we want to expand it to 16. So instead of doing 11-5, which you're going to put 11 teams in the hands of a human committee that nobody's going to agree. They're all going to have implicit bias. Why would we even do that? I mean, nobody thinks that the NCAA, we spend hours arguing about who was the 69th and 70th team in the NCAA tournament. What do you think we're going to do with the 11 there? So why not expand the opportunities, give 4 play-in games to the SEC, 4 play-in games to the Big Ten, 3 to the ACC, 3 to the Big 12, and say, man, create more opportunities for the fan bases to get excited, create more opportunities for players to compete for championships. And that doesn't sit well with probably some of the blue bloods who are going to consistently be ranked in preseason rankings in the top 25 explicitly because of their names, not necessarily because of their teams, but because of the brand bias that we have in college football. Instead, make people earn it. Make people earn it on the field.
We're not going to have a 30-team playoff.
I sure hope not.
God, I wouldn't.
It's endlessly fascinating. Go ahead, Bodie.
Yeah, it'd help if I had my mic turned on.
Okay.
Also, I would
New
just
guy.
like to add real quick when he mentioned we spend hours debating the 69th and 70th best team in college basketball. No, we don't.
No.
Nobody does that. The
I
only
don't
people
know that I've
do
ever done that.
Is the people whose teams get just left out. And even I think half the time those fans are like, yeah, we kind of suck this year. We don't really deserve to be in.
Yeah, if we don't make it, fine.
Yes.
Right.
That Ohio State was in this exact same bucket for basketball 4 months ago.
I don't remember spending time.
I don't think I spent any time. It's like,
I feel like more of the fan base spent more time saying, "Yeah, we got to be better than this.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable."
17,
I don't
Not
wanna-
saying like,
I don't
"How
wanna
dare
watch
we-"
them again.
Yes, that was on
Yeah.
the table as well.
they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying at 69 and 70, which is what they would absolutely be saying about teams 16 and 17 in college football. We already saw in the 12-team model. Guess what? There aren't 12 teams that can legitimately win the national championship. And the most amusing part of this, and I agree with some of the things that Eli Drinkwitz is saying. I agree with some of Tony Petiti's motivations for automatic qualifying. I don't love it. It does help clarify how to get there and remove some of the selection committee, which I think is overall positive. But you're looking at these proposed formats and 30 teams, 12 teams now. Did none of these people go to a math class? Right. Why didn't Eli just say 32?
Right.
You take it 16 and double it. That's the opportunities. And
there you go.
Then the math works great. And you don't have to make 6 different buys or 8 different buys or 12 different buys. Like, why can't these people just put together numbers that actually make sense?
Instead of a 30 team, I would rather them decide. Like you said, were 12 teams last year that could win it. Maybe there will be some years where 12 could. Maybe there's some years where 7 could. I would instead have the committee do this. And I'm being a bit facetious here. Like in December, they get together and say, you know what? We think there's only 6 teams that could possibly win this. We're doing a 16 playoff this year. Other years. We're
You're
doing an 18
eliminated.
playoff. Yeah. We're going to do 9 this year. We think
You guys
there's 9
hate the committee?
teams.
Watch this.
Yeah. What you want? We'll do this. Don't go more than 16 teams. And I said last week also, I thought most college football fans would want 16 over 12. And based on what I saw in comments, the pushback on that, I was wrong. Most people like the 12 and don't want 16. I would love to have 16 and have 2 playoff, 2 hosts, the first 2 rounds be hosted in college, like the home stadiums.
What I truly want someone to explain is to go back to, so we have 100 models on the table to expand the playoff. And it was, well, we could go 8, we can go 12, we can go 16. Why? How did they land on 12 with everyone in that room being like, that's a great idea. This 12-team model with 4 bids, 4 buys, like this is super cool. Like, you guys deserve a raise. Congratulations. Why did I take it slow and in some sort of sensical fashion? 8 would have been absolutely fine. The truth is there was really nothing wrong with 4. And there's now a pathway, especially with the conference championship and the expanded, with the way the SEC and the Big Ten have expanded in the size of their conference. Probably the 4-team model would make more sense today than it did a decade ago or 5 years ago. But 8 would have been perfect as well, in my opinion. I don't believe that there are going to be years, Tito. As you said, it's hypothetical. Maybe NIL and parity across college football arrives and you do see the 12 with a legitimate shot to go win it all. Maybe that could happen. It feels unlikely because we've also got a lot of evidence at the NFL level that these first-round games are also blowouts in the wild card round, and they continue to add games, and they're not to add Super Bowl contenders. So I don't think that the answer for football is adding more games personally, and I know that it makes it more complicated to settle the field, and we have the selection committee, and they have a hard job that they often botch, but we definitely don't want to get in a world where we're giving them more power.
The initial Hall of Fame inductee into our chat room for the Morning Juice, TE13, wants to know, what are you looking forward to the most and least with Big Ten Media Days?
The most? I'm hoping to actually talk about football on Tuesday with Ohio State. And I don't know that that's a full guarantee because I've covered this event for events like it, I guess, for almost 20 years now. So Ryan Day and Jeremiah Smith are going to get an abundance of questions about NIL, and also now like what they think the ideal model is for the playoff, and if the SEC should play 9 games, and a lot of things that don't even really apply to Ohio State. So that's both the best and the worst, I guess, for Tuesday. I'm really excited because I think that Jeremiah Smith is going to draw such a huge crowd that there might be an opportunity to get Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles in a more, intimate atmosphere to talk about what this defense is going to look like, and maybe more in detail about Matt Patricia's role and what the scheme is going to look like. And I think that'd be fun because so much of this offseason, Tito, as we just did in this segment, has been about stuff that has nothing to do with the game. House settlement and transfer portal madness and how many people are paying what amount of money for recruits. Like I really want to get to the point where it's just like, you know what? They do play games, and those are what we all kind of got into this for. So going to hear from Ryan Day. That's always going to be a great hour plus. He's always insightful in these situations about the good of the game overall and where he thinks it should go. And I understand why you ask the head coach of Ohio State those big picture questions, and he treats them very seriously, and they're well thought out answers. That's going to be cool. But Tony Petitti will be out of mothballs, and we'll actually get to hear from him and try and defend the Big Ten's position. He's been under attack for. Somehow you've let Greg Sankey become the hero here, and the Big Ten has become the villain. What he wants to explain about the desired playoff format and where it's going, and a lot of other things that are on Tony Petitti's plate, but we rarely get to hear from him. So actually looking forward to that for once on Tuesday morning.
All right, folks, stick around. Quick hitters next. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and going whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-284544. That's 380-284544. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit Goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here 4 hours.
This is Morning Juice.
Oh, indeed it is Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. Love having them on board with us. Let's do some fiery jabs.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not
Every
sleeping,
night.
call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Good morning. He's Buddy Wells.
Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Best day of the work week. We'll start here in the NFL for the for the second time in his career. TJ Watt has become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Yesterday, the superstar pass rusher and the Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to a 3-year extension that'll pay him $123 million over the course of that deal. That deal does also include $108 million in guaranteed money. At $41 million per year, Watt, he edges out just barely Jamar Chase and Myles Garrett. So the AFC North is sending out some cash this offseason. He edges out Chase and Garrett for the highest annual value among all non-quarterbacks in the league.
It's Myles Garrett.
What did I say?
Jason Garrett.
Oh, did I? Don't pay him anymore. He's not that great of a coach. Myles Garrett. Watt edges Jamar Chase and Myles Garrett.
Yes.
So there. Over the last 5 seasons, Watt has 73.5 sacks. That is the most in the NFL. Tito, I have to imagine this feels pretty good getting this done ahead of trading camp for the Steelers.
Yes. I love what the Steelers have done in the offseason. I'm excited about it. I saw a funny little tweet yesterday that JJ sent out where it showed like his career earnings were $129 million, I think. And TJ's going to make $123 over 3 years. And he said something like, if my little brother doesn't reach for the check, we go out to eat, there's going to be problems. Because, that's some big money there. Well-deserved, though. And this Pittsburgh team, I was never really that concerned they wouldn't get it done. I thought they'd figure this out because unlike the Hendricks situation with the Bengals, unlike the Micah Parsons situation in Dallas, I think that Pittsburgh there's no way they were going
They're not idiots. I say it that way.
I mean, so Cincinnati's being dumb because they've got to have Hendrickson, and Dallas is being dumb because they are now got to pay more to Micah Parsons than what TJ Watt just got. They did the same thing with Dak when they waited on him and had to pay him more CD the same way.
So on and so forth.
Jerry Jones just really killing those negotiations.
Yes, he is.
He's defended himself by saying that he doesn't mind waiting. Jerry Jones said something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing here, but he doesn't mind waiting because I'd rather pay more and get it done the right way than pay less and screw it up, which makes zero sense to me.
When you're building an NFL team that has a salary cap and every dollar can matter in terms of like trying to put together the best roster to win a Super Bowl, which Dallas hasn't come close to doing in 30 years, shocking.
Problem is he'd hire Myles Garrett as head coach, according to you.
That would work. I've got this coupon. It's 50% off, but you know what? I'd rather pay full price. Forget it. I'm ripping it up.
Right.
I don't need to save the money. And I don't need to win a Super Bowl. I'm Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Right. He already won 3. So might as well go to his grave with not even an NFC title game championship appearance since then.
Or a playoff win.
Well, they got a few of those.
They also did get
too
a few of those,
Not many, but they got a few. Hockey here, a 2020 first-round draft pick, Yegor Chinakov's career with the Columbus Blue Jackets has not quite gone according to plan. He's played in just 175 games during his 4 years with the Jackets, missing on average about half of each season due to injuries. And now he is ready to move on as he has requested a trade out of Columbus. On the bright side, general manager Don Waddell was not surprised by the news. He told Aaron Portzline of The Athletic, "I'm surprised his agent went public with it, but I'm not surprised about the request because we've talked about it. He got back from the back injury last season and he did not play well. And Chinikov and the Jackets head coach Dean Evison kind of fell out of favor. Austin, it's another guy requesting a trade out of Columbus here, but I don't think this one is going to hurt the CBJ as much as some of the previous ones have.
Doesn't feel quite like when Seth Jones wanted out, or Artemi Panarin wanted out, or Matt Duchene left, or I guess we can go. I could probably name 15 more Blue Jackets. So you know what? I'm done with Columbus. That's frustrating as a Blue Jackets fan, living in Columbus, wanting this team to be great, and every time that there's some momentum, it feels like nope. That's going to be stunted. I don't feel the same way here about Chinikov. Had pretty high hopes for that 5 years ago, but we haven't seen that potential fulfilled. So if there's something that the Jackets can get in return, this is that rare case where there's a trade request, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. Just do it. Because there's so much positive going on right now for them. A huge bonus with the way that season went a year ago. A lot of encouraging progress going on. If there's not someone who wants to be part of that or doesn't fit into what they're doing, no problem at this point. I think Dino's got it on the right track, and if they don't see eye to eye on a role for him, let's see what kind of return there is and just turn the page.
National Listing Day, so I apologize if I didn't listen closely enough. I don't know if you said this, but he did play. He's played 175 games. He's missed 109 in his time with the Jackets. So it's not like they don't miss him. They're not going to miss him. He was a healthy scratch, a lot at the end of the last season.
I think it was 12 out of the last 17 games. When he came back from the back injury, he was a healthy scratch. So.
I love the way Waddell was talking about this. Sounded like he said when he came back, he was not the guy we were hoping he was. He got healthy scratched into the season. That's what happens with guys. He couldn't handle that. I love this kind of talk. He said...
you don't often hear that sort of bluntness about it.
When he was talking about the fact that it went public, said, I ignore it. I'll talk to teams. I'll continue to talk to teams. But him going public isn't going to change my thinking on it. I have to have the right value. Depends on how many teams are interested in what team's willing to pay. I can ask for whatever I want, but what's the market? If the market's not good enough, he'll be a Blue Jacket. And then he was asked about, well, what if nothing gets done before camp? And Waddell said, if nothing gets traded, he said 100% he'll be at camp. He's under contract making over $2 million. I've been through this before. If he comes back and says, my agent tried to find me a different place, but I'm here and I'm going to play as hard as I can. I've seen it a number of times. Usually it's not an issue if the player shows up with the right attitude. He's not going to get pushed around in this one.
Yeah, love that.
And I don't know what the right value would be for him. A former first-round pick who's been injured a lot and underperformed.
Yeah, probably not a lot.
I'm at a point, and I know Waddell wouldn't say this, but whatever I can get, I'll take. It doesn't have to be something big, and it can be. It's obviously not going to be a first-round pick, a second-round pick, maybe a third-round pick. It might not get, but whatever he gets, whatever you can get for him, because this guy's not an important player on this team going forward.
And having him out of the locker room for whatever little value you can get might be more important than having him on the team there. Back to the NFL here, a two-banger of a story, as Mr. Anthony Schlegel would call it. Mm-hmm. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice, he has been sentenced to 30 days of jail time and 5 years of probation following his role in a multi-car crash in March of last year. He is able to serve that 30 days of jail time at any point during the 5-year probationary period. And then along with that, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison, he pleaded no contest to a lesser charge to resolve a 2024 DUI citation yesterday afternoon. Addison will be placed on probation for 12 months. He'll have to pay a $390 fine and complete 2 online courses. Both players, kind of the biggest, I don't mean to dismiss what they did. That's pretty bad things. Don't do bad things. But in terms of the NFL playing careers for them, both players are still subject to NFL disciplinary. And Tito, I don't think it'd be a shock if both guys was suspended at least for a game, maybe even more.
I think multiple games on both counts. I think the NFL is going to, after all the stuff that happened with, and thankfully didn't happen here, but with Henry Ruggs, what happened with him out there with the Raiders, because of those kinds of things, now the NFL is going to crack down on it even more.
And they should.
They should. I agree with you. Yes, and I think each guy will get it. They'll probably give them a beefy suspension, and by beefy like 5 games or something, and then they might let them appeal and maybe take it down to 2 or 3. But I think it's going to be more than 1 game for each player.
Yeah, and it should when you're looking at this. If you are facing jail time and Roger Goodell must protect the shield, there's only one way to do that. You have to send a message with discipline that goes beyond just what you're dealing with in the court system. And, you're entitled to do that. You have this collective bargaining agreement. You can set down what these punishments look like, and you can actually enforce them. So if you want to make sure that becomes less of an issue, you don't want to become you don't want the NFL to look like Athens, Georgia on any night of the week. But if there was actual discipline going down in Georgia, that would put a curb to that. If there was collective bargaining or the College Sports Commission was able to step in and issue penalties for that sort of thing, then you'd see less of it. But I have more faith in Roger Goodell to do that than Kirby Smart.
And I didn't realize this. I wish I could tell you where I heard it. It might have been Bo talking about it. Somebody talked about it, and I was listening because it was National Listing Day that day for me. But even though Quinshon Judkins has not signed his contract yet, he could still subject to being suspended for this domestic violence charge if the NFL deems that something did happen and they want it. Because I didn't realize this, but as soon as you're eligible for the NFL draft, even if you haven't signed yet like he has, they can still discipline you, which I didn't know you could do that. I figured, I didn't think it'd be a loophole, but I thought, I wonder what they can do to him because he's not officially in the NFL yet. He's not under contract.
Yeah, but he will be.
He will be, yes, it will happen. And I wonder that's the other one. I didn't realize that about the NFL rules, though. But even if you're not drafted by a team, if you're just a free agent out there, an undrafted free agent who hasn't signed with anybody yet, you got a regular job, and you do something, Goodell could still say, you know what? You're out for 4 games.
You know what, Tito? You talk about the NFL.
Right.
You're suspended.
Right. You get a suspension. You get a suspension. You get a suspension.
That's 2 juice checks.
Right.
Gone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can still get to, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, the NFL, you're right. The thing in Athens, Georgia. And I can't believe there has been more light shed on that Georgia driving situation.
I actually think that there's plenty.
Do you really? I don't think it's...
And because Kirby gets all worked up when the Atlanta Journal-Constitution goes and like, well, now the total is 59 citations, and this is DUI, and that's like they're keeping track on it down there. Georgia doesn't have their thumb on the media coverage of that, and everyone knows it's an issue, and it's like they point it out, and nothing ever changes.
Maybe my surprise that there's not stiffer penalties. You know what I mean? There's not
Tito.
What's that?
Those guys make plays on Saturday. So.
It
just means more.
Georgia's not going to win national championships with those guys sitting on the sidelines.
We're going to suspend you for the first 3 weeks of summer.
You're going to miss some.
See how you like this. You're going to be in the. You're actually going to have to do morning workouts on the 4th of July.
Yeah, some extra gassers. That's what we're going to do. Coming up next, Bobby's out, but yesterday spoke with Ryan Day. We'll share some of that with you next. Morning Juice.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of Veteran County Veterans Service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers. Through CPR education and access to AEDs, nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Liar. Austin and Tito. Need your help fight cancer. The Logan Services Fan Golf Classic silent auction is open now through Monday, and it's packed with incredible items. Ohio State football tickets and memorabilia, golf foursomes, behind-the-scenes tour of the Memorial Tournament, and so much more. Place your bid at 971thefan.com. Every dollar goes toward the fight against cancer, benefiting our friends at the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Let's team up to make a difference. Ryan Day was on the Bobby Carpenter show yesterday. I feel weird doing this with you, Austin.
Okay.
Because most of the stuff you already probably know. Like, I don't think I might be surprised by some of the audio. You will not be, because you've got your finger on the pulse of it. So act surprised. Act surprised. If you're not surprised, just play along.
Okay.
Here's Ryan Day talking about balancing the quarterback battle.
I would say that there's times where I've gone into this part of the season where I feel like I know or have a feeling on where it's going. I don't right now. I like both of our guys. I think Tavian's still, again, a third right now, and he's got to grow, and I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him. But he needs, this preseason. He needs, the first half of the season to grow. But Julian and Lincoln both have done some really good things here in the offseason. They're getting stronger. Talking to Mick, there's been really good leadership. The ball's coming out of their hand good right now. But we got to go play football. And that's to me, like, obviously the wild card in all of this. When it's 4th and 2, are we going to get, 3 yards? Getting guys into, to play well once we get in the red zone, like making the throws that we need to make in the red area, making decisions on when to throw the ball away, taking care of the football, maybe taking a sack when, we're not going to force the ball into coverage so that, we might have to punt as hard as that is, play great defense, get the ball back and go score. Like that to me is how you win games, is making great decisions. 3rd down, 2-minute. And so you just don't know until you get on the field and play. I thought there was some really good growth this spring, but we'll see. We'll see where this thing goes. And like we said, we'll get some really good feedback after the first one.
That is shocking, Tito.
See, I need to say that. Yes, that's good.
Whoa!
You got to really sell it on the YouTube part too. There, you got to.
I look right at the camera.
Right.
What?
I need your jaw drop.
Oh. Okay.
Julian Saint's going to be starting the season, right? I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. Julian Saint will take, barring any injury, will take the majority of snaps this year in live action, right?
Probably. But, I mean, Tito, I've been accused of overhyping this, that it's a neck-and-neck competition, that it is only something to talk about in the offseason. I mean, I don't think that I've learned that Ryan Day, when it comes to talking about his quarterbacks, you take him at his word. He has not been proven to be a liar about it. And I thought 2 years ago, I've said this on the Buckeye Show, I've said it on the Beat, I've told you and Bob this before, I felt like the way that I covered the quarterback competition, the last time there was a true one, because there wasn't one last year between Will Howard and Devin Brown, but there was a Devin Brown competition with Kyle McCord 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I approached it the way that you just did right now with Julian Saint, which is that Kyle McCord is going to win this job. He's going to take the majority of the snaps. He's the leader. He's more experienced, everything down the road. And Ryan Day would say in the middle of camp, well, it's going back and forth, and there are days that Devin's ahead, and there's days that Kyle's ahead, and I would say, no, I don't buy that. And I think I did a bad job covering it, because that was true. And if I had been paying closer attention, I think some of the ups and downs and inconsistency that we saw at quarterback throughout that year, not just like Indiana and getting both quarterbacks involved, but even once Kyle McCord was dealing with the injuries or hitting a wall, or once they put Devin Brown into the red zone packages, I think maybe I would have, if I had not been so intent in August of saying Kyle McCord is definitely going to win this job, mm-hmm. I would have been open to the idea that they may need to play them both, that maybe one guy hasn't just taken that job and ran with it. And this situation is different in the part where I would agree is that the higher upside, I think the better pure passer is Julian Saint.
Right.
And so if you're putting down money and your expectation is who's got the maybe better long-term chances of being Ohio State's quarterback, you can say that everyone pretty much universally agrees that would be Julian Saint. But it is not that Julian Saint himself had a poor spring. It's that Lincoln Kienholz had a very good one. So I think if you're looking to be optimistic about it and say, well, then 2023 was a real problem. If nobody has taken this job by the reins, it's not August yet, so we can tap the brakes.
Right.
But Lincoln Kienholz is elevating his game, and they're both pushing each other. Where when it was going back and forth between Kyle McCord and Devin Brown is because both guys were having some days where they were turning the football over or they weren't executing at the highest level. It was more of a, gosh, I wish we were seeing more. Ohio State needs to see more. I think Ryan Day, Billy Fessler, Brian Hartline have all felt really encouraged by what they've seen from Lincoln Kienholz. And the other difference between this quarterback battle and 2 years ago is that there was a notion that Devin Brown was a true dual threat, and the offense would look very different if he was out there compared to Kyle McCord, when the reality was they were much closer in athletic profile and quarterback style than I think was generally perceived outside the Woody. That's not the case with Lincoln Kienholz and Julian Sayin. Julian Sayin is a prototype passer. Lincoln Kienholz can hurt you with his legs. He can run over people, will run over people. He's a multi-sport star in high school. He can do those things that I think many people projected that Devin Brown would or could 2 years ago. So this is an actual situation where you do have two paths that are very different. And I think the question then becomes who's most ready to play against Texas and who proves that by the middle of August, because you can't afford, I don't think, to go to the Monday before playing Texas and not know what your game plan is going to be at quarterback.
I think that part of my apprehension is, and this is totally unfair to Lincoln Kienholz, is the one time I saw him with significant action against another team was the Missouri game.
100%.
And look, when you're watching the game, though, you know the offensive line didn't do any favors. And you also know he really wasn't ready to be out there.
Yeah, and that shouldn't have been a surprise. He was the third-string quarterback as a true freshman who did not even go through spring practice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's become so common, you just assume that all true freshmen by the end of that first year are now they're second-year players. They've been through the program. If you're not one of those guys who enrolls early, and especially at quarterback, you're so far behind. And Lincoln Kienholz, when he was in high school as well, not just that he'd missed that spring camp and the chance to get a head start of learning the position, he was not playing spring football either. Wasn't doing winter stuff for football.
Right.
He was playing basketball. He was playing baseball. He was doing track. He was doing everything under the sun except playing quarterback, which is, the hardest position in all of sports to learn and execute at a high level. He needed those reps. And there was no way to catch back up on him because it wasn't a situation where he was getting the backup reps late in games, because you had Kyle McCord and Devin Brown and then Lincoln Kienholz. And because of the quarterback battle and the fact that Lincoln hadn't been around in spring, Ohio State really couldn't devote a ton of time to getting him ready in that August training camp. It was like, well, this is just a wash, a development year for Lincoln, and he's going to have to get into that as a second-year player in the program. So he was not ready for that game, not even close. And it did not help that the offensive line was in transition, in a state of flux, and getting completely dominated by Missouri in that game.
Right.
So, I understand the lasting memory of that because he did take a true development year a year ago, didn't get on the field, and I understand the notion that if you're looking at Ohio State's quarterback room, well, Julian Sayin showed up, and he became the third-string quarterback, and he's the one that got the reps ahead of Lincoln Kienholz. Why wouldn't he still be ahead of him now? I don't think that that's unfair to evaluate it that way either. I think the point is not that Julian Sayin has gone in reverse. The point is that Lincoln Kienholz, with all of that athleticism I've talked about, with now 2.5 years in the program, that maybe he's starting to understand how to play the quarterback and how to operate this system for Ohio State. I'm not going out on a limb to say Lincoln Kienholz is going to win this job. That would not be where my actual American currency would go down. But I think that it is a more legitimate competition than it tends to get credit for.
Here is Ryan Day on the Bobby Carpenter Show talking about Matt Patricia.
We hired him. I was fired up, but I'm more fired up now because I've seen him talk to the guys, talk to recruits, build relationships, and then they're just taking ownership of this defense. I mean, when they go out there, there's just a certain level of confidence when they break that huddle, when they're communicating. I mean, they're moving fast. No, we got to get on the field and we got to do it. But I'm really excited about it. And Matt has brought a lot of great experience at the table. Not just the fact that he's a defensive coordinator, he was an offensive coordinator, he was a GM. So now in the new age of what we're doing with the salary cap, he brings in that experience. He's been a head coach, he's been a defensive coordinator at the highest level. He's played long seasons, he's been around great players. And I think one of the best things that he's done over his career is put guys in position to be successful. And he certainly did that at the Patriots. So we have some really good weapons over there. And I'm really fired up to see, not only how it looks in the first game, but how it grows as the season goes on.
The Patricia thing, it's intriguing to me to see how it's going to be. Obviously, had a transition on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And, defensively now, it's going to be different as well. But I have a lot of confidence. I think Patricia's one of those guys who's better suited as a coordinator and also much better suited to be a successful coordinator if in almost every game he's got superior talent on his side of the ball.
Makes it easier, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I think when you have the depth of experience and expertise that Matt Patricia does, this was the part going back to February. I was skeptical about, because of the personality, the perception of his personality. That hasn't really matched up with the reality, by the way. But when he was hired, it was like, this feels like it's pretty much out of left field. Why? He's from the Belichick tree. He's going to have to relate to college players. When he managed the top of the franchise with Detroit, it did not go very well. There was no part where you just be like, well, you're going to be skeptical of the scheme. You're going to be skeptical of the football knowledge. It was all about the other stuff. Are you going to recruit? Are you going to be able to relate to players, manage players? When it comes down to the X's and O's part, you're talking about somebody going from working with Bill Belichick and having this incredibly deep Rolodex of plays and game plans and flexibility and versatility and scheme and all that. And now you're dropping down, quote unquote, a level, and getting really good players that you don't have to draft and piece things together. You get to pick the ingredients that you want and then go make the meal. And I think that there was never any hesitancy on my part from that perspective. Yeah, he's going to be able to build a defense and be really good. But it has been the other part of it, which Ryan Day is sort of alluding to. He has built incredible relationships with players. I was on campus multiple times throughout June when they're having the one-day recruiting camps, and the players have their workouts in the morning, they have meetings in the afternoon. They're always – the current roster is also around. And I can't even count the number of times it was C.J. Hicks over here, it was Caleb Downs over here, it was Jermaine Matthews over here, just guys who were walking up and just hugging Matt Patricia,
right,
attached at the hip to Matt Patricia. And I was like, certainly I didn't anticipate seeing that, Tito, but they have taken to him, and he has also taken to the recruiting trail, where Jim Knowles would be out doing, 0 evaluations. Matt Patricia's like, this is awesome. It's draft prep for him, but he doesn't have to worry about if that player is going to be available. He actually has some say and influence on getting that done. So he has been the entire package that you wanted, that Ryan Day wanted when he made that hire back in February, and then some. But again, the caveat is out there. You go out on August 30th. That's the true evaluation, and in the honeymoon could be over, could be even better than it was before. Well, who knows? We're going to find out when they play against Texas. But everything building up to get ready for that point, I think, has just vastly exceeded expectations. Even in the Woody, I would say that's true.
The way you're describing Matt Patricia and his interaction with players, the way he's taken to recruiting, embraced it like that.
Yeah.
Embraced the college game, the college atmosphere. Would it surprise you, when you first heard Patricia was hired, first thought went through my head was I was thinking of Chip Kelly. He's going to come in here, have a great year, and then gone back to the NFL. Do you feel different? How do you feel now? Would it surprise you if he was a one and done?
It would surprise me. And I think most people were reasonably expecting Chip Kelly to give 2 years to this process at Ohio State, but it was never going to be a long-term thing.
Right.
It was from the moment he arrived, a potential outcome that he would leave after 1 year. I didn't think it was going to be to the NFL. I don't think that was the exact way anybody saw it ending, but there wasn't an expectation when he arrived. Well, he's going to be here for the long haul. He's going to continue to work with Ryan Day, and he's going to really like this opportunity to be a coordinator at Ohio State. And I think he did. I think he had a great experience. He certainly parlayed that into another big contract. He got to win a championship with someone he's known for 40 years,
right,
and been a mentor. I think that part was all great. But if you ask Chip Kelly about it, And I'm not saying that I did or didn't. It's like eventually he's going to go chase something down. He did not feel like he was done. And it's a very prestigious position. He was well compensated for it. But I think as someone who's been a head coach as long as he was, that was going to happen sooner or later, that he was going to take another job. Matt Patricia, and I'm not saying that I have or haven't had this conversation with him, he is looking at this as more of a long-term position. I think the experiences that he had in the NFL, some great and some horrible, has given him an appreciation. And again, he hasn't coached the game yet, so maybe this will change in August or September when he realizes the pressure and scrutiny that comes with that job of being the defensive coordinator at Ohio State on a week-by-week basis, even if you win and you give up 2 touchdowns. Ooh, boy, we're going to be talking about you on the Morning Juice.
Right.
So, we'll see if that maintains. But he appears to be viewing this as a long-term, and I'm not talking a 2-year cameo, like 3-4 years job, because he's incredibly well compensated. The opportunity is unique and exciting for him. Again, at this point, always subject to change. But I would be very surprised if he just turned that into a 1-year deal, because especially with his, settling in a family, there's a lot of similarities there with Ryan Day and him wanting to, get the kids in a spot where they can finish school and finish up high school in one spot. So I think that part is being embraced by Matt Patricia. So I would be surprised. You never want to say never in this, and who knows what kind of offer could come down. If the Silver Bullets are the number 1 total defense in the country again and they go back-to-back, people are going to be trying to hire him away again, and it could be expensive to keep him. But I think Ohio State has got things in place for him to make it that would be not as tempting as it would have been potentially for Chip Kelly.
I thought that Chip Kelly would stick around regardless of success longer just because of that relationship with Ryan Day. But maybe the relationship with Ryan Day made it easier, for him to leave. Like for him to say, you know what, I wanted to come in here and do this with you. We've done it now. We can't do better than this. Right. I mean, well, you could beat Michigan and win. But I'm saying, but you can't have a better end. There's no way. And so maybe at that point he almost felt like similar, and like when LeBron won the title in Cleveland, he's like, you know what? I did what I said. I did what I wanted to do. Now I can go and do something else if I want to.
Well, and this applies to a lot of other situations and not just Chip Kelly, if you're thinking about like recruiting in this day and age. But Ohio State could not have matched the offer that the Raiders threw out. I mean, that contract, I think, is bonkers. I don't know why they're paying that to Chip Kelly, but how could he reasonably say no to it?
Right.
So Ohio State can't, we'd really love to keep Chip Kelly around here for another year. He's did a great job as the offensive coordinator and keeps Ryan Day, in that CEO role that he loves. And you don't have to take this bet on Brian Hartline. Let's pay $6 million for an offensive coordinator. No, you can't pay for someone else's desperation. That's not a good way to do business. So once that offer was on the table, it was sort of like, well, what else can you do? I don't think Chip Kelly thought 12 months ago an NFL team is going to offer me multi-million dollars to go call plays. That would have been hard for anyone to project.
And I feel like that there's more pressure. Matt Patricia will feel more pressure as the DC at Ohio State than he is the head coach of the Lions.
I'm certain of that.
That's insane to me to think that but it makes sense. I'm not saying
I think that's one of the things that Jim Knowles really why the feelers were out there for him. I don't think he was comfortable with the level of scrutiny and pressure that he was under. He was very good at it. He answered the challenge, but he was certainly irritated by it.
He called all kinds of hell after the Oregon game, when that happened. That was something that was, for losing by 1 point on the road to a damn good Oregon team. It really was their biggest win in their school history. That's the way they treated it. I was out there, and I know, but I
was on the roof.
I saw grown men weeping after that game. I was like, oh, Ohio State lost. That's too bad. We got a long season ahead, but they were, it was.
See you guys in Pasadena.
Right. It was tough for them. All right. Coming up next, hold on, folks. Chad, Ya Highness from WeWinUwin.com joins us to help you make some money this weekend. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Bobby Carpenter, husband, father, Buckeye. Jeff Thitoff, husband, father, idiot. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. We always close things out. A couple of strong guests on a Friday. Let's get some top picks.
Helping you win your sports bets. This is Top Picks on Morning Juice.
Top Picks is powered by WeWinYouWin.com. Built by winners for winners. Stop guessing and start cashing.
You see him there on the screen. He's Ya Highness Chad from WeWinYouWin.com. I know we'll get to your best bet at the end of the segment, but you did push this past weekend, right? After a couple of wins in a row, wasn't that because the Garcia one, you said you wanted to go on money line. If it went to a decision, it was no bet. Is that correct?
That's correct. You would have got your money back. He ended up winning the fight by decision. I just don't trust the judges.
Yep.
It's like all my exes, right? You just can't trust them. By the way, I see a new face on the screen.
Should have given you a heads up.
Did this guy lose did he lose a coin flip in Cheyenne? And now he's the backup in Columbus?
That's
what's going on there, Austin?
Wow.
We do a little research coming in from Wyoming.
Giving me a little shout out. This guy does his homework.
He does more than I do.
Tell Pistol Pete to chill out there. Okay. All right, folks. We got AFC, NFC North. That's what we're going to tackle today. And then next week, it's college football. It's college football all the way home to the Longhorns coming to town.
All right. Sir Highness, then. Give me some hope with my Bengals.
It's Ya Highness.
Ya Highness.
This is not official like a referee at the whistle. Baby.
I don't know. I just want to pay proper deference. This is my first time, so I want to make sure I do it right. But Ya Highness, can my Bengals take the North? No, okay.
They can't.
Good.
They will.
Very exciting.
They will. This isn't a can. They will, okay? I am over Baltimore Ravens. I think Henry's going to come back a little bit to earth. By the way, Jackson, he's not the most, injury-prone guy, but he's also not Teflon Don out there. Like, he can roll an ankle. If he goes down, the team goes down. I think Burrow's healthy. They got the weapons. They picked up, is it Burton, I think was the rookie wide receiver to play the slots. I think the defense gets better. And I went back all the way to 2021. The Bungles are 12-4 versus the AFC North. So I like the way that tracks. So, and plus 250. Let's run this season a few back. We only need them to win one time to make it a profitable.
Even I'm a Steelers fan there. So with the additions they've made, I got a feeling they could challenge for the AFC North.
Who's doing a quarterback in there in the Steel City?
It will the future Hall of Famer, the very youthful Aaron Rodgers.
Don't they have somebody else on the roster too?
Well, yeah, they got Will Howard on there from Ohio State, yeah, and they've got.
You know what they tell me? Tito? If you got more than one quarterback, you got no quarterbacks. They got no quarterback in the Steel City.
All right,
geriatric Rodgers? No. Discount double check that to the retirement home, okay?
All right. Let's slide over to the NFC North then. And tell me your take on the NFC North for the upcoming season.
Well, I like quarterback play, and I like Jared Goff. He's got all the weapons. Now, here's the thing about Jared Goff you need to know. Whether he was in L.A., whether he's in Detroit, this man lives by his weapons. He is the captain. He is the general. Without weapons, he is nothing. They got the weapons in Detroit. I like the defense. I think they brought in the kid Arnold, rookie cornerback. That should help the secondary there in Detroit. And Hutch, comeback player of the year, defensive. The guy is a man. I mean, they're in Columbus. You guys know Hutch can put it down on the corner. So he should be disrupting. Green Bay gives me maybe a little pause. I do like Love coming up. I think he's starting to develop actually quite well. Speaking about Aaron Rodgers, he's kind of on that path where sit a little bit, learn a little bit, come in and get yourself going. But I do have Detroit winning the NFC, the Bengals winning the AFC this year.
All right, so this is the fourth week we're doing the big bet, the best bet by you. You hit your first two, had a push last week, so we're still positive money if we listen to Ya Highness. What do you got for us this week, brother?
Yeah, and I try to put out the percentages so people kind of know how much, for those that are paying attention. So the first week we did 5%, we hit it. The second week we did 4%, we hit it. I think we did 3 or 4% last week. It was a push. We're going 9%. This is massive.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
This is huge. We put out, just last night it went live, a UFC show. We go through every single fight. It's on YouTube. Shut Up and Bet with Your Highness. So if you want every single fight, you can head over there. But our absolute favorite, and when I say our, I have a UFC expert on there as well, is Kevin Holland. And I'll say that again. Not Dutch. Kevin Holland to win inside the distance, okay? He fights in between two weight classes. This is the lesser of the two weight classes. He's a lean, mean fighting machine. And I would take him by knockout, but I am afraid of one little thing is if he gets him on the ground, he will jump on his back and submit him. So we're going to say inside the distance, Kevin Holland. If we're going to judge this, we lose. We got to win before the final bell. Kevin Holland, 9%, and it's because it's a little juicy. You get about 6% back. But that is the play. Look, if that play loses, I'm going to be facing a pillow crying. Okay, this is a heavy play for me. Really heavy play for me here.
WeWinYouWin.com is where you go. He is Your Highness. And you got any kind of other special looks this week at anything? Anything you're leaning to? I know you're not. Baseball just starting back up this weekend after the All-Star break. You probably have to wait for a few games to see things get going on that. But is there any other futures bets, any other baseball things you're looking at?
Brody Wells over here is losing it. I didn't think I was that funny today.
Dude, you're doing great.
For the love. But I wanted a couple things. One is the A's are playing the Indians. There's a bonus on FanDuel for home run hitters. I think Brent Rooker goes deep. It's just a little flyer there if you want to throw that out on the Indians game today. I want to bring this up. I keep saying you can go to the website, use code Bobby, get your $42 a month. If you signed up day one when I came onto this show and you're only a $10 bettor, you'd be up $862. Ooh. If you're a $25 bettor, you'd be up $2,155. Folks, it's $42 a month. And I know a lot of you that sports bets, you got your group chats, you got your friends, everybody else, and I'm sure you guys do quite well. If somebody in your group chat is not doing this professionally, you're not doing as well as I'm. Trust me. Any of you that bet on sports, if you could quit your job and do this professionally, you would. That's all I got to say. I'll leave it at that. Jeff's part of the group. He's killing it. He'll be at our meetup event in Toledo come October.
He was telling me about it today. Unfortunately, I got to cover Ohio State that day, but otherwise it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a blast. You get the pay-per-view fights. It's all you can eat, all you can drink. We'll get into more details. But next week, guys, we're coming back. It's college football the rest of the way. This is my bread and butter. This is the baby that we cry for. We'll nurture. We'll pet. Right? Austin, I hope to see you again.
You will, for sure.
Got a little more pizzazz than Bobby sometimes. I don't think I'm on Bobby's good side. I mentioned one thing about Harbaugh winning the national championship, and he hasn't talked to me since.
You're the man, Chad. We'll talk again next week, buddy.
Love you guys. Peace.
All right. That was Your Highness. He's always juiced, and now it's time for us to tell you what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
No pressure, Austin, but you're first. So you got to tell us what's got you juiced.
Unbelievable level of juice from Your Highness.
Yeah.
Just really bringing it on Friday morning. I mean, I'm juiced to be in here with you guys. New studio. Never been in here to do a show, so great to see you guys. Great to catch up. Loaded little Friday. Normally it feels like Friday is the finish line, but that's just not the case today. Because, Berm and I record the beat. That's on Thursday. It's like, oh, okay, we're done. Got morning juice today. Got Buckeye show later today. And I'm going to sandwich a round of golf in the middle of it.
Pretty smart. I like it.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's crazy. Zach Boren invited me to go play at Pinnacle.
Okay.
Tito. Never been there.
Yeah.
So got that invite. I can't say no.
It's a nice track.
You got a Buckeye legend, one of the greatest plays, one of the most iconic photos in Ohio State history. Great friend. Done a ton of Ohio State content with him over the years. And he's finally invited me out to that club. So I can't miss it.
No.
Got to go play. Now, tee time's at 12:30. And if you can do the math for how long a round of golf takes, I might be coming straight to the studio.
Coming in hot.
Without the shower. So Beam might be having to deal with that in the studio across the hall. But you know what? I think he'll understand.
He'll be just fine with that. What's got Schlegs juiced over there, Brody?
Right there. Poof, David Copperfield. There's your plan, Big Ten. No need to thank me. I did it in 2 hours. All you need is a whiteboard, a pair of scissors, a monster, and a brain. That's it. That's all you need.
I think Your Highness has taken the second slot on most juice morning juicer right behind Schlegs. I freaking love that guy. We're going to have to get him in studio one time, I think. Get him out there from
right when he comes back out for the event in Toledo.
Yes, we'll get him.
A little pressure on me there because I haven't committed yet. So I'm going to try to get up there. But I feel
that's different than the way you described it to me earlier.
I told you guys before the show I'm going to try to get up there. We're going to see if it works out or not. But he just put it on me that I'm going to be up there. Apparently, I got to make sure that it's not on the flyers. If it's on the flyers, just handing out. We got issues because the card's subject to appear.
Well, your name, image, and likeness. You gotta make sure
NIL, you're right. That's true.
As if I could get any more juiced on a Friday, best day of the work week. Your Highness always brings the juice. It gets me even more juice. What else has me juiced? I just saw this on SportsCenter. The Celtics beat the Lakers last night, Summer League. Big game for Bronny James in the second half, though. 18 points, but Boston overcame it. I was completely unaware that game happened last night until I just saw it, but that's got me juiced. Also, what has me juiced? Saw this yesterday. You love when good things happen to good people. And the Northern Illinois head football coach, Thomas Hammock, he is being inducted into the Indiana Football Hall of Fame. Hammock was a star. This comes from Brett McMurphy, who I know Buckeye fans still have a very soft spot for in their hearts. He was a star running back at Bishop Loras High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He didn't say this, but I'll add it. Maybe the greatest upset in the history of college football in the state as well. So, but you know what? He fueled the Fighting Irish to the national championship game, I think, in some ways last year. So good on him. Your Highness has me juiced. Tito, what's got you juiced this morning?
You keep saying Friday's the best day, and the person who would not agree with you is Joshua Perry. Joshua Perry says Monday's the best day because it's a blank slate in front of you.
His takes...
Does he wake up at 3 a.m.
The candy that Joshua Perry eats.
Yes, that alone that's a pretty significant mark against him.
I think Joshua Perry has just perfected the art of the troll. I love Mondays.
Monday's his favorite day. And I never understood it either. Still don't understand it. He'll never make it in the media. Anyway, oh, wait. Hang on. He already has. But anyway, what's got me juiced is the Cardale Jones celebrity softball games tomorrow night. The one that's out there at Huntington Park tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, I guess. And I got to do it last year. It was Dane and I doing it last year. Dane is playing in it this year. It's I'll be with Tim Hall doing it. And it was a blast last year because, I mean, you get to see these guys all the time and interview them. I don't get that opportunity, especially like in person. And we're sitting doing the broadcast, and we got Lauren Knight came over and talked to us for a long time. We had my first introduction to Will Howard. Very impressed. Lincoln came over and talked to us. I think who else came over? There were a couple of former players that came over as well. I know, obviously, we gave a lot of crap to Ty Pak over there. He promised a home run again, and for the second year in a row, didn't do it. He's not.
What a stunner!
Yeah, he's not guaranteeing it this year. The home run derby is a lot of fun, and I don't know how it's going to work this year. Last year, when it was Dane and I was kind of in the one chair, I guess you would say. And I don't know if it would be Tim. I imagine Tim will be in the one chair tomorrow.
Tito.
Tim's in the 1 and the 2 chair
imagine?
tomorrow. Right. Tim's in the 1 and 2 chair. I'm in the 3 chair. But it's I had a lot of fun. I had a bunch of home run calls prepared. And I got to use a lot
proud of them.
That's what it was.
Right. Go on.
I think I'm trying. One of the ones Hola, me llamo es home run. Things like that I did. And then I also reached out to some of the listeners and got calls based on like 80s and 90s hip-hop songs. And I would somehow incorporate those. Like, Here Comes the Hot Stepper when someone hit one out. Something like that. I would do things like that. And so I don't know if I get a chance to do it this year or not. Probably not. But I've got some planned anyway.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go out there. It's a lot of fun.
Berm and I will be there as well to knock out some interviews, and I think our intention. So forecast, we're knocking on wood that it stays clear. It's not looking amazing, but hopefully they get it in, and we're going to try and do a version, the first one with the beat and 97.1 The Fan, 10 TV, and 10 TV Plus of the Notebook. So one of my favorite pieces of content that we did, which would be after Ohio State games, just wandering around, outside the locker room, getting some extra interviews, showing what it's like at those stadiums. They're packing up the truck behind me. It's just like a real behind-the-scenes look. I know what people know what Huntington Park looks like, but an opportunity to just walk around and see who all we can talk to. As you mentioned, there so many players, coaches are going to be there, so we're going to try and knock out one of those as well. So we'll have, especially on the Fan here, full coverage all weekend of that.
Clarette's going to be there also. Maurice Clarette's supposed to be out there as well. That'll be fun. I hope I get a chance to talk to him as well. And I don't know if I need to say this publicly now so we get it on the record. If it rains and the game gets canceled, I'm still going to invoice Fish. I'm not, just because, look, if they don't play and I don't get to be on the air, whatever it is, I'm still getting paid.
Yeah.
Fair?
100%.
I think it is, too.
You showed up to work.
That's the way I look at it, too. I'm there. I can't help Mother Nature, right?
I think they're gonna try and play as many innings as possible, is my understanding.
Right.
And if they can't, then they'll just do autographs on the concourse,
right,
for everyone's there, and Tito's booth will be the last one. So you want to get Julian Sand, you want to get JJ, you want to get Carnell Tate, whoever,
and then
Tito is down there at the end.
Then get Tito over there.
You'll be talking live on the radio.
Yes.
Tomorrow on the Fan here, Tito.
Yeah.
Tito Green with Skip Mossick, 9 to 10. Fan Sports Saturday, 10 to 1. Buckeye replay, Sugar Bowl, January 1st, 2015, Ohio State and Alabama.
Okay.
1 to 4. And then you guys take over 4 o'clock, 4 to 7. Check it out. Cardale Jones celebrity softball game with Tim Hall and Tito.
That's it. You're right. 1, 2, and 3. It's exactly right. Thanks so much for that, Bodie, and giving that information. It's Huntington Park tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Stick around, folks. AJ Hawk next. Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, We can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and go on whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-2845-44. That's 380-2845-44. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
For the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Event Risk. What keeps you up at night? Visit eventriskINC.com.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
You know, Brody, I'm starting to think that Friday might be the best day because we got Ya Highness, Chat from WeWinYouWin.com on here. Or Chad, sorry. and now we got this guy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
Oh, love that music. Love that intro. He's A.J. Hawk. AJ, we had one of our faithful listeners, was listening to us earlier in the week in the hospital after his wife had given birth to their first child. And we got into the subject about things that were on the TV, not while your wife was giving birth, but like kind of after that or right before. Like when my first son was born, Antonio Freeman made the catch in overtime to beat the Vikings, that incredible catch he had. I was in the hospital for the Kentucky Derby 1 year with one of the kids. And curious, have you ever, is there a sporting event that you you remember viewing during that time with one of your children?
Man, that's a good question. I have four of them, so I'm trying to run. When you're saying, I try to run through in my brain what was on the TV like before, or directly after. All I remember is we didn't have many options. Like I thought we would have a couple more options when it came to TV viewing, but I don't think so. Three of my kids were born in December and January, so it was always cold. There's Christmas stuff on the TV at times. Then my last was born in May. But there was no big moments though. I can't think about that. Honestly, I think we were watching at one point MTV Real World Road Rules Challenge. I think with my first daughter, with my daughter way back in the day. I think we were watching reruns of that up in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's crazy how those hospital rooms, AJ, they don't have the full cable package. You just get a tiny TV. How are we supposed to entertain the dads? What's going on?
I'm with you, and like a little knockoff Lazy Boy is what we get to sleep in too. Not even the full blown Lazy Boy situation where you can almost lay all the way down, except that, there's always a little cot that they claim folds into a bed. But, it's not about us, I guess. It's about the about the people having the babies.
Now, you know what? They're going to say this. They always say, oh, no, you're part of the birthing process. They want to put a lot of pressure on us still, AJ. They act like, oh, you can't. You're part of this too, but then except when it comes to the amenities, because I'm telling you, the one time there's a big pay-per-view fight going on, and it really bothered me.
The hospital didn't spring for the pay-per-view?
With all the money we're paying them, can they not spring for pay-per-view in one of the rooms?
Well, or at least give you the option to pay for it. Okay, if I want to pay the $59.99 to get this pay-per-view, at least give me the pass so I can get it into this room. But that's why, I mean, they always say we are pregnant. Like, and the dads say, oh yeah, we're pregnant. I'm like, well, are we, or is your wife pregnant? Because I don't know if we are pregnant usually in those situations. But you're right, the amenities. It is a weird world. I remember my mom had back surgery way back in the day when I was a little kid, and she had this little TV that like telescoped from the ceiling where she could pull right in front of her face. And the TV might have been 1.7 inches from diagonal to diagonal. It was so small, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever when I was like 8 years old.
AJ, I feel like I've maybe asked you this, 5 or 6 years in a row. I'm just curious to evaluate your answer if it changes over time. When it gets to be a week or two out from training camp, whether that was NFL or college, is your body adjusted? Are you feeling like you got to be ready to go play, go hit people right now? Or are you now removed so far that's like, I don't even remember what it feels like to get ready for training camp?
Man, I do. I remember. I mean, it's always like a process. Like in once like July 4th would hit, then like, okay, after the 4th of July, here we go. The countdown is on until camp starts. Even going all the way back to high school, I think I've always felt that way. I still have a sense of that now. It's like, all right, my kids are starting football and have camp and everything, so I got to get ready to coach these guys. That's more of where I'm at now. But yeah, it's like there's a smell in the air. There's like a certain feeling when it's just 5 million% humidity, and it's getting it's 95 in the day, or you walk out in the morning and it's just already super hot at 8 a.m. Like, you can just feel it when it's time for football season to start. And like all throughout like the end of July and August, I think no matter what, forever, like I'll always kind of feel that, and that'll always be a part of it. I think anyone that played any level of football will have that.
What's the thing that you could feel? You're talking about the vibes and the what was in the air for your body. What told you that you were ready to go do it again?
I never really. I was always worried that I wasn't ready. That was a good thing. Like I think, because I never really felt like, all right, am I physically ready this year? Like, how did I feel compared to the year before? And you always felt like you weren't, like you're underprepared going in, no matter how much work you did and whatever. So I think that was always good, because it always, like, you never felt satisfied or felt like, okay, I'm in football shape now, I'm good to go. Like, it always kept you doing more, just because you are like always somewhat anxious of hey, did I do everything right? Especially in the NFL, everything is kind of on your own. That whole, the end of June and all of July, it's kind of on you to get ready for camp. And so always coming in, I felt like, all right, yeah, I feel good, but do I? I don't know. And then after the first like 2 or 3 days, everyone feels pretty beat up and feels not great, but you realize, okay, yeah, I've done all the right things. I feel like I'm right where I need to be.
AJ Cart makes fun of me for this, but if you look at like the algorithm with YouTube, the things that pop up that they suggest I watch, because when I'm home doing my other job and just kind of getting through the day, I'll have on my white noise in the background is old football stuff. Like right now on my feed, it would say it's suggesting the 1979 December 16th NFL broadcast highlights from Week 16, which it's got 11 hours. It's like a red zone thing from 1979. Anyway, one of the things that popped up last night for me, kids are out of town, wife's out of town, so what do I do? I continue to do this.
This could go anywhere.
This could go anywhere, right. Was the 2006 NFL Draft. Now, I feel like, and I know where you're from, Bengals would have been a great team to draft you and all that, but I feel like you were built for the Packers and for that franchise. Did you get that same vibe when they called you? Do you think this right here is a great spot for the kind of player I am and for my mentality, the way I attack the game?
Absolutely, yeah. I was lucky. I knew where Green Bay was drafted, and I wasn't sure if they would take me or not. I really didn't talk to them at all before the draft, but I knew who was picking around them. I think San Fran was going 6 after them, and I was thinking like all the different possibilities of where I could go, and I knew like Green Bay was the spot. I remember saying it months before the draft, like, man, it'd be awesome if the Packers would take me. I mean, Brett Favre was the starting quarterback at that time, and they just happened to have a down year, and Mike McCarthy was coming in as a new head coach. But just even proximity, everything about Green Bay, I was really hoping that they took me. And then once they drafted me and I got up there that night, and I went to Green Bay and I met all the coaches and kind of went around town and saw what it was actually like, because I'd never been there before. Then I knew, like, it reinforced my beliefs in what I thought. And, yeah, it's a special place, and I thought that before I ever got there, and luckily I was able to be there 9 years. But, yeah, I realized how lucky I was, because it was a perfect fit. I mean, the Packers are like, Green Bay's like, it's the closest you can get to a college fan base and like a college city. And everything, a lot of things felt very similar to what it felt like at Ohio State.
Do you ever, AJ, sit around reminiscing? You think about your career. You're talking Bob, whoever. You're like, what if I didn't go to Green Bay? What would my career have looked like? These sliding doors moments. I mean, I know it's purely hypothetical. I wonder if it ever even comes up or crosses your mind. Like, things work out obviously for a reason, and you don't have to go back and worry about it. But it's like, what if San Fran had drafted you? Like, that would have been a very different experience.
Yeah, I mean, I would have it complete. Like, it'd be who knows where I would be right now, what my life would look like. But I've definitely thought about that. Obviously, I would have tried to make the best out of whoever took me. But I think about that sometimes with Ohio State. Like, what if Ohio State didn't offer me? I didn't go there. Like, what would my life look like now? Where would I live? I think about that sometimes. That what a drastic change it would have been if I didn't go to Ohio State. So yeah, it all works out, I guess, how it should. But things like that, yeah, it's fun sometimes to think about what it would have been. But man, I realize, I'm pretty lucky, because a lot of people don't get the opportunities that I got. And, all you can do, I guess, is try to maximize them once you get them.
I asked Bobby this earlier in the week. I'm curious, what's the strangest thing anyone's ever asked you to autograph? And has there ever been something that somebody presented to you or showed you and said, will you sign this? And you said, I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah. Man, I feel like people, not at a funeral, but people have asked me to sign a casket before, and it was like where they were going to eventually, their grandma or dad or whoever, I forget what it was eventually going to go in there. They didn't, like, carry it to them. They asked me if I would, like, come over somewhere and sign, and then who knows if they were joking or not. But I was like, we'll cross that bridge when if the person hasn't died yet. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. It doesn't sound right. But I didn't do that. But, no, I don't know. Like, people always want you to write weird things on there, like with a signature, like write some weird comment, some derogatory comment towards one of their friends or something. And I'll say, I can sign it for you. You can go ahead and write whatever you want afterwards, but I don't know if I'm going to do that and get myself caught up in something some weird inside jokes that I have no idea what's going on.
You can find that on eBay later.
Right.
Look what AJ wrote.
Right. AJ said you're a pinhead, Dad.
Yeah, it's AI. I'll say it's AI. It's ChatGPT did that or whatever. I didn't do it.
How many body parts have you signed?
About like forearms and arms. Like kids and like even adults, like, and people will claim, we'll get this tattooed later, which I always would advise against that. I don't think they've ever done that. But yeah, usually like forearms, like the old school like Navy guys that have like an anchor on their forearm. That's like a big spot where kids and some adults like to get signatures.
Bobby said he was much more gratuitous in signing certain body parts pre-marriage. And I'm curious if, let's say today, a man...
What do you mean gratuitous? He would write larger? He would write...
Sure.
Longer? More pressure?
He would...
on the pen?
Yes. He'd be more open to signing certain things.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If say, a 54-year-old man saw you and said, will you sign my left butt cheek, would you do it, or would you politely decline?
I would politely decline, and I'd say, but you know what? I have a really good friend. His name is Bobby, and he will gladly take you up on that. And he would actually ask you to probably get it tattooed on there after he signs it. So that's the great thing about hanging out with Bob and Schleggs. I can just point to one of them, and one of them's bound to do it.
Yeah, one of these guys will do whatever you want. Don't even worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the plan. That's how it's been for 20-plus years with them.
AJ, you're the man, bud. We appreciate the time. Thank you so much. We'll talk again next week, okay?
All right. Sounds good, guys. I'll talk to you.
All right. That was AJ Hawk. Yeah, I thought last night that the 2006, I never thought about
Your algorithm is wild, man.
Dude, I'm telling, like right now, I could turn it on, and I love doing it. It'll be on in the background. I'll hear Dick Enberg calling the game, and Merlin Olsen, and Bob Trumpy, and Pat Summerall calling these games and stuff. And it's fun to have on in the background. I don't sit and watch it. But anyway, when that came up about the 06, I never really thought about it until last night. But how AJ really was the perfect Packer linebacker.
100%. That's part of the reason that I ask if he thinks about it, because if you think about AJ Hawk, I mean, if outside of Columbus,
right,
that is the quintessential Green Bay Packer linebacker. It's hard to imagine him in a 49ers uniform or, going to play for the Giants or the Jets. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Some warm weather or dome team. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see him doing that for the bulk of his career. I know he ended up with the Rams and Bengals at the end, right?
Yeah.
And so, but in the prime of his career, coming into the league, though, he was built to be, he was built to be a Packer, maybe a Bear, a Steeler.
I don't know about Pittsburgh.
I do. I know about Steelers. Look, you're going to see it again, with Sawyer is going to do something.
Anyway, I don't want to. It's not fair.
It's a wonderful thing, dude. I saw Will Howard's keeping his number. He says he's had that number since, like, I don't know if it's high school or middle school, one or the other, though. But he was very happy to have 18 available to him.
Was Pickens, is he 81 or 18?
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
was available to him.
It was available. Yes, let's just put it. It was available to him. That's for sure. By the way, speaking of, I think Pickens has a monster year this year in Dallas.
You think?
I do. You don't agree with that, Bodie?
I don't know, Tito. I don't disagree. I don't know that I agree.
He just wants to.
I mean, I think Dak will be the best quarterback he's ever played with.
Yeah.
I know people aren't always the biggest Dak fans. I certainly have my doubts about him winning in January, but
he's played with Stetson Bennett the fourth.
That's true. That's true. A good point. That's fair.
Pro quarterback.
Fair.
But yeah, he's definitely better than anybody in Pittsburgh. You could convince me either way.
Yeah.
You could tell me we get to week 3 and he's got, half a dozen catches for 100 yards and he's complaining to the media, or you could tell me he's ready to show up and try to earn himself what could be a massive contract if he has a huge year. He'll be the second best receiver, obviously, behind Lamb, which is fine, but he could still have a monster year.
I think he's a great second receiver.
Oh, I don't all the talent's there. And like I said, I would like to think that the head case part he could put aside because he realizes he's playing for a massive contract. But
you've heard things about the Bermuda Triangle and Pittsburgh
wide receivers.
Pittsburgh head cases they get rid of at the right time. Even Le'Veon Bell, they get rid of guys at the right time. And so that'd be my only reason for concern is if you're a Cowboys fan, that he could turn into the Antonio Brown thing, Plaxico, who was the most recent one, who's now with where'd he go? He was with the Brown Deontay.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson, another guy. They got rid of at the right time. It was
time. I mean, when he was in Baltimore last year, he said he was just cold, so he didn't want to go in the game.
What it was.
And we've
all been there.
Yeah, it's cold, man.
Yes.
I ain't going out there.
I don't remember getting paid that much to go out in the cold, but yes, I do remember that. Austin, great job today, buddy. Thank you. Brody, thank you for this date in history was awesome. You got some love for that in the chat as well. Ya Highness, Chad, and AJ Hawk for joining us, and we are back on Monday. Have a great weekend, all you guys. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and going whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-284544. That's 380-284544. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out. When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high net worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night, event risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I. And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more